What's going on, guys? It's me, the Cats, and welcome back to another episode of Playing on an SMP like it is 2012. This episode is quite an exciting one as we are finally building our wheat and potato farm that we dug out in the previous episode. But before we do begin that, just wanted to quickly share with you guys a quick clip of me catching a hacker, or more so the other players on the server catching a hacker, but he did get a ban, which was nice and satisfying. Also have some quick updates on the server. As you can see, the spawn is a little bit different, but I'll touch on that in just a bit. What's going on? Ah, this player is flying. Interesting. That's some sussiness. Like they're in awe of this guy. Ooh, look at this guy. I don't know what his deal is. He's so infatuated with himself. He won't talk though. Yeah, interesting. Why won't he talk? So, well, that player was clearly hacking. So ban him, and then ban his alt as well. As you can see here, following players previously logged in that IP address, Liam, Meow Meow, and Tiny Pet. So both of those players have been banned. So one of the changes to the server is the spawn. As you guys can see, in the theme of Christmas, I've decided to change things up just a little bit, add some candy canes, add a bit of snow, add a bit of wood, just sort of change the theme up a little bit. And obviously you can see we've also got a sleigh. I've changed these guys over to green little elves. Hopefully you guys have noticed. But there is also a villager over there on that sleigh who is red, who is, I guess, symbolizing Santa. But obviously, how do we get there? To get onto there, you need to be a little bit sneaky. I suppose if you have an elytra, then it's pretty easy. But that is why I've got the ender pearls. So I've got 2 ender pearls. Let's hope I can master my throw and land on the sleigh. I'm not feeling very hopeful. I feel like I'm going to either overshoot this or undershoot this, but I feel like let's throw that. Oh my god, I literally landed on top of the ladder. Perfect. But yeah, as you can see, we got ourselves Mr. Santa over here, and Santa is got quite an expensive sale, as you can see. So for 2 stacks of shards, we can purchase ourselves a crazy coin. This crazy coin merely is just a collector's item. It really has no value, but it is just a bit of a throwback to the crazy SMP. So yeah, I put the sleigh over here and I popped down a villager and I thought, well, he may as well sell something. What can he sell? I don't want to add any sort of additional items to the shop just to, ensure that things aren't unfair or whatever. So I thought I'd just put a relic or a collector's item, something that really holds no value other than, some sort of sentimental value. And so that is why I decided to put the crazy coin. So that is a throwback to crazy SMP. If anyone is daring enough to buy it, then yeah, this is, the item to get. It's obviously a collector's item, and this will be in place until Christmas is up. So, I'm probably at a stage now where I could even afford this. I probably have 2 stacks of shards in the form of diamonds back out of my base. So if you want me to buy the crazy coin, again, let me know in the comments, and I'll totally buy it in the next episode. It'll be an absolute waste of diamonds, but you guys are the viewers, you guys make the decisions, not me. So if you want to buy the crazy coin, I will, and I just hope to Lord that I don't accidentally place it on the ground, because at the end of the day, it is just a sunflower. So yeah, let me know if you want me to buy it, and then I'll do so in the next episode. So in classic The Cats fashion, just want to give you guys some quick updates in regards to the server and channel. So just quickly, again, the maximum amount of players we've had on the server is still sitting at 15. The total amount of unique players who have joined is at 92, which is a bit of a boost. Our total Discord servers, again, is still sitting at 54, which I don't know how that's not changed, but it hasn't, I guess. And our total subscriber count is 2,137. So thank you everybody who has recently subscribed to the channel. I do appreciate it all. Again, we're trying to hit 2,500 subscribers before the end of the year, which means we only have a couple of weeks left. So now I'm really calling for you guys to subscribe. If you haven't, please do. I really want to hit this goal. But yeah. Anyways, let's get on with the video. Today we're going to be building this epic farm. So strap yourselves in, grab some popcorn, and let's get to it. So we're back at our base, and we have done a little bit more digging out on stream. So I have completely dug out what I think I need to build my farm, which involved sort of extending some of the regions because I realized I hadn't really built it long enough. I also realized I hadn't accounted for some things like pathing, and I made this pathway wider as well, which I'm not sure if I mentioned in my original design. But I think I've dug out everything as far as it needs to be. And I've also collected all the resources required to build our farm, hopefully. So we ended up getting a whole bunch of mangroves. We found a mangrove swamp, and then we got everything else that we needed. I've just opened this chest right now, and I realize I'm missing my gravel and sand in order to make some concrete, because we're going to be needing a bit of blue concrete, and the red dye is for some red glass. So let's really quickly do that first. I don't think I have either of the two resources on me, but I don't really think I need too much. Only about 3 stacks of sand and 2 or so stacks of gravel. So I'll just quickly make myself another iron pickaxe just as a backup, and I'll just use these 2 iron shovels to get it. And what I'll do in order to get it is RTP and get lucky the first time. And this certainly is not what I'm looking for, but it is a sort of mountainous area. But usually when you're in a mountainous area, there's a slight chance it might be like a gravel mountainous area. So let's just quickly run off maybe in this direction and see if we're able to find either of the 2 blocks that we're after. I mean, there's some gravel there. Not at all as much as what we need, but that's a start. We've got 4 pieces. We got another... Man, I feel like every time I RTP, I come to one of these villager, pillager outposts. So let's just quickly run in here and see if we can get some trims or some cool loot. Hello? Anybody home? I don't see any illagers or pillagers or villagers around. I don't see any mobs around. Has this already been looted before? We got a goat horn. A goat horn that says sing, and we got our iron. I like that. I like that. Oh! Ignore me, ignore me, ignore me. No, I come in peace. Come in peace. Okay, so let's go back to our quest. We need to find gravel and sand. And I suppose the best place really to get gravel might actually be in the nether. I can just sort of look where I found ancient debris, because you always find big chunks of gravel in there. And I feel like I'm not going to get any sand anytime soon unless, you know, this biome turns into a desert. So I think what I'll do is I'll go back to my home. Oh, that was an instant TP, which probably means I am off. Yep, so just quickly deal myself. You saw nothing. But yeah, let's just go into the nether and we'll find ourselves a whole chunk of gravel in here instead. Where do we want to go? There we go. Oh, ignore me. Like, there's a whole bunch of gravel there. Oop. Yeah, let's just use this. Let's just start it. So, just to be safe, let's go tunnel a little bit until we find our next chunk of gravel underground. And maybe we might get lucky and even find some ancient debris along the way. That'd be a nice little bonus. Oh, that is sandstone. No, that is lava. Okay. So what will we find first? Will we find... Oh, crap. Will we find gravel first? Or ancient debris? Hey! Never been more pleased to find gravel. Oh, wow, double. Oh, you know what? That I think is the best possible outcome we could have asked for. Now, I don't want it to drop so much flint. If we could just stick to gravel only, wish I had a silk touch shovel. Oh god, I'm getting so much flint. 15 pieces of flint. But after I checked my inventory, we didn't get another piece of flint. Still that one. Okay, so that is almost 3 stacks. I just want to check something else as well. Yeah, look at that. We can turn a bit of that flint into gravel, which is nice. We'll just keep going until we find another chunk. Again, what are we going to get? Every time I say what are we going to get first, I end up finding the gravel. But we'll just dig up all this gravel so that we have it. Alright, there we go. So I got 4 stacks of gravel. So now let's go back to our home and drop some of the items off. I'm gonna have to start carrying this horn around with me. I kind of like it. There we go. Wow, perfect 64, and I got an additional 2 stacks. So I guess I'll just dump that in one of these chests over here. So now we just need to pick up ourselves about 3 and some stacks of sand. Our RTP cooldown has reset. Please put me in a desert biome. Nope. Not a desert, not a desert. Got a jungle though. I feel like I've been here before. Like I feel like that really high top mountainous range with those trees looks like a familiar area. Is it possible that I've been here before? I mean, probably not. I'm probably just imagining things, but could you imagine if you RTP'd into the exact same location as you've been before? Like imagine you put down a sign that says, you know, Decathlon's here, and then you RTP again and it takes you back to the exact same place. When the, you know, potential possibilities are pretty much infinite, you know. That is some ridiculous odds. Because the RTP range is set to 10,000 blocks. That's both negative and positive. So really, you know, it's a 20,000 block or a 10,000 block radius from 0, 0. You know, and it can be any X or any Y or any X or any Z value, and then the Y is obviously whatever. So really you've got 10,000 or 20,000 times 20,000 possibilities. What is that? That's like 400 million or 40 million or something. Doing the math on the top of my head, it's probably not, but it's some exorbitant amount of money. And then I wonder if it even takes into account direction. I feel like I just saw a house. Did I just see a house here? No, it's a village. The way that house looked at the top looked custom. I thought, oh my god, I'm going to run into somebody's custom biome or custom base. But it's just a village. Like, this is a very interesting looking village. Or village house. I don't think I've ever seen anything that looks quite like this. Okay, anyway, I don't want to spend too much or too long in this village. I do want to just go until we find the sand, because I feel like every episode I'm popping out ends up being just an exploration video. And I can spend, you know, as long as I want exploring, but I feel like that's not what you guys always want to see. You guys might want to see some building action, and I want to do some building today as well. You know, I've had this farm idea basically on the back burner for a couple of episodes now, so I really hope to get it done today and, you know, within a reasonable time. Last video was 1 hour, which I was pretty happy with, and surprisingly, it actually did pick up quite a few more views than I expected. Something interesting happened with, like, episodes, what are we up to? 7. Something interesting happened with, like, episodes 5 and 6. Like, I saw a drop-off in terms of, you know, viewership, and I thought, oh, you guys aren't enjoying this as much, or, you know, maybe I was posting too frequently, or I'm not really too sure what the problem was. So when I put out episode 7, the latest one, I thought, well, I don't know what's going to happen with the views, but ended up getting more than the previous 2. So it seems like you guys did enjoy it. But also interestingly, the engagement was lower, even though the average viewership or average watch time was higher. So if you're watching this video right now, could you please comment something in the comments, just so we can have a little bit of engagement. Comment why, I don't know, comment something to do with this brown sheep. Yeah, I don't know specifically, but I want you to leave a comment, something to do with the brown sheep. Why was the brown sheep doing XXX? Something like that in the comments, just so you guys are there. And also, of course, leave a like as well, just for old time's sake. But let's jump over this hill and see if we can find ourselves some sand, because I'm getting a little bit desperate, you know. I'm not looking for anything valuable. I'm not looking, like, I feel like, you know, I'm looking for sand right now, but I feel like I'm going to run into a mangrove swamp before I get sand. Every time I want something, I get the last thing that I wanted. The thing I took such a long time trying to find, I'll find that without hesitation. But sand, you're making it extremely difficult. So I might just farm up the sand that's here. Like I said, I'm not really after that much. Only a couple stacks, so I guess we'll just take it from here. So I've been watching a really interesting series on YouTube recently in relation to Minecraft. Something just randomly popped up on, I think it was my Twitter, and it's called Back to Beta. So it's just a bunch of guys on an SMP, and the SMP version is like 1.7 or 1.07 or something like that, like a really old school version of Minecraft. Like, you know, before hunger was added into the game, and before there was like an end, and before there was so many features that we all know and love today. And I don't know, that SMP like really intrigued me. Part of me was like, oh, I really wish I could join that SMP. And I found that ever since I like started putting out this series, and since my return to YouTube, I've been, you know, receiving a few opportunities here and there, and you know, that is something I definitely mentioned in one of my earlier episodes. And as much as I would love to join these SMPs and, you know, engage with, you know, new communities and other content creators and all that stuff, I feel like once I do bring in something new, or, you know, begin something new, a new adventure, whatever it is, then I'm not gonna give as much attention to this specific server that I'm on right now. Like, that's just my nature, I guess, something that I always find I end up doing every time I create like a new server or a new let's play or a new project, you know? Bring in a new project, abandon the old one, or devote less time. And I think that's what I was sort of, you know, trying to touch on when I was talking about, you know, bringing back Crazy SMP in my last video. Now, fortunately, nobody left any comments related to that, so I don't have to bring in Crazy SMP, but I'm glad that I did just totally ignore that idea. Because I feel like, as much as I would love to redo another season of Crazy SMP, I feel like it would just be sort of a duplicate of what some SMP is anyway. And the only reason people would join, or people would engage with it, might be because of A, nostalgia, or B, you know, relevance. I feel like Crazy SMP has more relevance than some SMP, if that makes sense. Like, we still have a Discord for the Crazy SMP server, which has, you know, 1,200 or 1,500 members in it or whatever. So there is still a community that can be tapped into to, you know, drive engagement and viewership on that server. Anyway, so we got ourselves our sand, which is great. So something I want to quickly test, and I had a bit of sand in there as well, which is funny. But what we need, I think, is just blue concrete for this. So I'm just going to take all the gravel and all of the blue dye and turn this into as much blue concrete powder as possible. Okay, so I think I obviously need a little bit more blue dye. There we go. So all blue dye. Hopefully I don't regret my decision. I think with one of the data packs we have on the server, we can actually turn like blue dye into other color dyes as well. So it's not really too bad. But yeah, the other thing I want to test is, can I smelt concrete powder into regular blue concrete? I think I can, so I'll just double check that. Nope. 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 No, I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to do that. Okay, so yeah, we'll do this the old-fashioned way, I guess. Find ourselves a pool of water. What's the best? What is the best way to do this? I don't even remember. I think my old favorite way of doing it is just building a tower as high as possible and then placing down water on top of it. So I might just do that over here. And hopefully I don't get shot off by a skeleton or anything like that. And that is us at the height limit. Look at our base, look at our farm. It actually is such a cool biome. But if we just place some water, that should turn everything it touches into blue concrete, which is what we're after. And if we had our efficiency beacon, we could mine through this instantly. But this is fine. This allows me to catch all the blue concrete. So let's just take this all the way to the bottom and then rinse and repeat a few more times until we're all done. Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spiders and 2 creepers and 2 zombies. I think we're going to have a bit of a fight once we hit the bottom. Hey guys, I'll take on you all. I'll take you on. Easy. And all of our concrete is now complete. And there are all of our items. Now, it is a little bit of a mess. I guess this chest and my inventory is a bit of a mess as well, more so. But this is enough to get started with our build. So I think we'll do precisely that. So the first thing I want to do is just place our dirts. So we're going to do 6 squares, essentially. So each of these areas here is a 9 by 9 area, which is the optimal amount. If we place our water buckets in the middle. So we'll just go ahead and make 6 of these squares. So I was originally going to have it all connected, but then I realized my design wasn't symmetrical, I guess, in the way that I was wanting it to be. The next thing I'll quickly grab is some slabs so that we can plonk our water in as well. So that'll obviously go in the middle. Oh, not like that. Just for the moment as well, just to prevent any mob spawning, we'll put a torch there. However, the torches won't be in the final design. So the next thing I suppose we'll do is start placing some of these mangrove logs. And one thing I just want to check as well, yeah, so 4 logs makes 4 wood. I don't know if that's the right recipe in regular vanilla. In my mind, I was thinking 4 would turn into 3 for some reason, but it is one of the vanilla tweaks things that gives us 4 instead of 4. So I'm just going to turn it all into mangrove wood for now. And I'll also just grab myself a little bit more deep slate because I know I'm probably going to get through a few axes with what happens next. And if you can't guess, that's fine. We're going to be stripping all of this wood as well. So I don't know what the best approach for this is either. Do I just do all the wood placement first and then strip, or the other way around? I'm not sure. But I guess the first thing we'll do is just dig out all of these blocks here because these are going to be replaced with the mangrove logs as well. Okay, so we've placed the floor down. That was approximately 3 stacks, and just looking at how much resources that ate, I feel like I'm actually not going to have enough mangrove, and I probably should have got the full 12 stacks, but I sort of stinted out by only getting, you know, 8 or whatever. But anyway, let's just move on to the next step, which will be to do some more mangrove placement. I may as well just turn all my mangrove logs into wood. Not like I'm going to need logs and not wood, and just get placing with the next step, which is to make some 3 high pillars, except for this, which will be the door. This will probably be higher. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do the same here. 2, 3, 4, 5. Not too fussed with this. So this will actually, yeah, be a door or an entranceway, which will continue to go down or up or whatever we want. But it basically just means that it's not a open and closed room. Still allows for more traveling. I really like the timber plugin. Like, I feel like it's something I really just can't live without these days, but for some reason, it's just so loud, the sound when you break stuff. Like, it's so loud that I can't even, like, turn it down. I think I need that mod. I don't know what it's called, but I've seen it in other people's videos where you can just change the different volumes of each of the different sounds in the game. Because I feel like there's some things I would totally turn off, and whatever that sound is, when you break a tree, that would certainly be one of them. So if you know what mod it is that I'm thinking about, please let me know in the comments below. Save me having to Google it myself, because, you know, these days, Googling things is hard. No, I'm just kidding. I can figure it out. But also, if you do let me know, I'd much appreciate it. One of the things I notice whenever I do server development stuff is I'll use, like, a plugin, and then all the comments will be like, oh, how do I use so-and-so plugin? Or what is the... I don't understand how so-and-so plugin works. Or even, like, the whole, like, you know, server development space anyway. Like, you know, I don't actually really develop in... You know, when I say develop, I know that what I'm doing is not the true, you know, definition of developing. Like, I am using plugins and configuring those plugins and doing all that stuff. So I'm not actually, like, doing my own code or creating my own plugins or anything like that. I am using other people's plugins. But I feel like what I do is pretty easy, and maybe that's because I have experience and I've done it before. But when people are like, oh, I have no idea how to make a server, it's like, well, it's not really hard to make a server. You know, just chuck some plugins in your plugin folder and then configure them. And then in terms of how do you configure them, well, you just read the website. You read the plugin page. But it just seems like so many people don't know how to do, like, these really basic things, and they're always asking questions, and I don't know, mate. I don't know. Yeah. So anyway, let me jump to the next step, which is dealing with acacia. I think, well, actually, I know now that the height of this room has wound up being exactly perfect. And I didn't even measure it. I just decided, I took the room that I had dug out in the previous video, and I just said, hey, I'm just going to raise the ceiling by 3 blocks, just because it was easy to build it that way, or dig it out that way. Turns out it's actually really difficult to extend the ceiling. But yeah, I just dug it out another 3 blocks, and this is going to be perfect. Oh, look at that. Absolutely perfect amount of glass. Anyway, last thing is our shroom lights. And this is why I said I'm not too concerned about lighting this area up here up. But yeah, you can see this exactly hits our ceiling. And this is so much better than it being like 1 block too short and then me having to dig it out post-build or in the middle of building. This is so easy. And yeah, have a look at that ceiling. Yeah, it looks pretty good. So, one thing that we're obviously missing, and hopefully you guys have put the pieces together, is this area here, which is still open. And yes, if you guessed it, that is where we're going to put our blue concrete. So I'll just grab about 6 stacks, and hopefully that is more than enough. And I guess the best way to do this will be just placing it like this, I guess. Okay, now let's have a look. Yeah, perfect. Because originally my design, this was only 3 blocks wide, now it's 5 blocks wide. It does look a little bit odd. I think I would have preferred if it was 3 blocks wide, or if I had just made this whole entire room open, but yeah, I mean, that wasn't really possible anyway. But all good. Let's just run up here and see what this is looking like. So yeah, I mean, this does all need to be blocked off. So I guess I'll just do it, I don't know, I guess like this for now. Not too important. So this is like that, and then you come down and you're in this big room over here. So the only thing I really don't like, I guess, is this center aisle. So I might change this up in my next episode. But yeah, let me know in the comments below, what do you guys think about this center part, or I guess the room in general? Is there anything in particular that you guys would change or do differently? I'd love to hear it. The next thing we need to do is actually change up the floor. And with the floor, I was actually going to do all mangrove as well. But seeing as mangrove is a little bit expensive, I'll just grab an alternate block for now. And what I'm thinking is either nether brick or nether rack. It doesn't really look too bad, to be honest. Maybe after, at some point, we'll dig into this wall a little bit, and we could perhaps put on the left side like an automatic potato smelter, and then on the right we can put a automatic composter, and then we can also put our chest storage in, as well as another flight of stairs which leads even further down. So I think probably that's something we can do in the next episode, if you guys want to see it, unless you guys have anything in particular you guys want me to do. But yeah, I'm sort of leaning towards doing that in the next episode, as well as building a building a pumpkin farm. I want to start working with pumpkins because I have a really awesome idea, and it requires a lot of pumpkins, like a lot, you know, a couple thousand pumpkins. So I can build a manual farm, which is fine. I can build a cool room, that's all good. But I think I'd like to build an automatic pumpkin farm as well as a melon farm just cause. Using, you know, observers and pistons or whatever. So I think that'll be sort of my focal point for the next episode. And because it is a farm, I want to continue it in this room, which means I'll need to dig this down even further or maybe turn it around and do a staircase, whatever. So we do need to extend that so we can build our composter and automatic potato cooking machine, as well as our little chest storage thingy mabobby. So that'll all happen in the next episode. So I hope you guys are all excited about that. Oh, he scared me. Doo-doo-doo. That is honestly one of the most satisfying sounds. I wish they had a horn that just made that sound. That was my impression. Not a very good one, but so as you can see, our farm is now complete. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. As a reminder, we are trying to hit 2,500 subscribers by the end of the year. So if you have enjoyed the video and you're not yet subscribed, please do. It's only one button away. And of course, if you did like the video, leave a like as well. But anyway, guys, it's been your boy Cats. I hope you have a good rest of your days, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.